Hello, my name is Amanda Farlinger with From Where I Stamp, and I'm in Canada near Kingston, Ontario. Designer Series paper is my favorite Stampin' Up! Product, and I'm sharing with you why, and why it should be your favorite product too. I'm going to share how you can earn some Designer Series paper for free, and then show you this paper, the Tea Boutique Designer Series paper. I've cut them out using the dies that come with the suite. We're not using that today. This paper is 6 by 6 in size and great for card making and scrapbooking or pocket page scrapbooking. And you'll also learn how to use one single 6 by 6 sheet to create 2 cards. So I have a card that I made on Instagram that I'm going to share with you first, and then we're going to make the second card. My email subscribers will be receiving an exclusive written tutorial of these cards. And if you subscribe by visiting subscribe.fromwhereistamp.ca, so it's right here on the screen. You pop over there and put in your name and your email address, and that'll be going out this Sunday. So if you join this week, you'll be getting that on Sunday. If you join after, if you see this video after that, I send my email subscribers a free tutorial, exclusive tutorial, once per month. All right, so before we start creating, I wanted to make sure that you knew about, I have videos every Tuesday and Thursday. It's also celebration time too. And so hit subscribe to be notified when my next video goes live. And there's also a blog post that pairs with this video. The link is in the video description, just below this video. It has pictures of the projects I've made today along with the supply list. And if you live in Canada and would like to order any of the supplies, I so appreciate when you select me to be your demonstrator. So we are going to switch this camera around, and we're going to look at first the Tea Boutique suite. So this suite is $92.25 Canadian and includes designer paper, cards and envelopes, stamp set, and die. We're not using these today, but I wanted to show the paper because sometimes, so there's the paper in better view. Sometimes I see Designer Series paper in the catalog, but I don't like the suite it's with. So I don't have my other catalog with me. So there's one in the holiday, the July to December mini catalog that I like, but I don't, it's the gnome paper. I forget the name. But I don't like the gnomes, but I'm thinking of buying the Designer Series paper because on the back side of it are snowflakes and blues and perfect for scrapbooking for winter or even Christmas cards. And the stamp set we're going to use today is the Hippos. So it is free with a $60 order. So if you did want to order that whole Tea Boutique suite, then you could select the Hippo stamp set for free. So Designer Series paper you can earn for free. So celebrations on till the end of August. We have the Rings of Love Designer Series paper, which is gorgeous. And it's, so you've placed a minimum $60 order before shipping and taxes, then you can receive that free. So you get to choose. Then there's the gold and silver. I did a video, I think it was last week, using this paper and colored it. And so that's a fun one, free with a $60 purchase. And then our last Designer Series paper is this one here. It's called the Wonderful World Dsp, and it comes with a stamp set. So it would be a $120 order to get that one for free. All right, so we already talked about the Tea Boutique, and I showed you a better image than what my camera can show you off my phone. So Designer Series paper. It either is in 6 by 6 or 12 by 12. We've also had some other sizes depending, but I wanted to show you is the package. So this piece of paper tells me what it is and the colors. So just get that a little closer maybe. And so every pack of designer paper includes a list of the colors, which is so nice because when I go to create a card, I'll look at what colors are included in the pack, so then I can decide what to do, what colors to use, and just looking for my other sheet of paper, but I must have used them all up because the pink flowers are just so cute. Now my 6x6 paper, I like putting it into a large Ziploc bag. Same thing with my 12x12, just so then they're all together. So I'm going to show you on, I think I'm going to show you on this one. So a one-sheet wonder is where you take a piece of paper and you cut it up, and then you use those pieces to make a card. So this one here, cut it right in half because it's 6 inches, so 3 inches. And then this one's going to be 5. And this one's going to be 4. So I just wanted to show you what one sheet wonder can look like. So this here, you can also use the back side of it. So I usually try to pick a designer paper that I like the front and back. So that's how you start with this card. So this is the larger piece, and this is the bottom right. So this is a card I created for Instagram for a reel. So I'll have a link for that in the description. So if you'd like to pop over there and see the progress video of how this one is made. But we're going to start off with, these pieces. So this is the other half of the designer paper. So we have these 2 pieces. Okay, so this was the top right and the bottom left. Then we have some crumb cake, and this is sweet sorbet. So it's an in color. So that means it's new this year, and it'll be around for 2 years. Then we have this hippest hippos stamp set, and we're going to use the new Stylish Shapes dies. They're gorgeous. That's what I used for the square. See the stitching on the outside? I love it. All right, and then we're going to do some coloring. So let's put that off to the side. Let's do some stamping first. Now, my videos have a link to a blog post down below where you'll see additional photos and some other details and whatnot, but also a list of the supplies. So then you can, if you want to recreate this project, you can do so by purchasing those supplies. Okay, clean that up with a Simply Chamois. Just going to put this back. I like putting my stamp sets back in the case just so that I don't lose it. Now we are going to use some Stampin' blends. So we have Petal Pink and Gray Granite. And, oh, I forgot my green. That's okay. So I'm just going to color in the belly and the flower using just the light. Oh, I stamped the wrong one. What am I doing? You know what? I can't do that. I was going to say I could flip it over, but because I've used the blends, they soak through. Okay, let's try number 2. I wanted to do the ballerina because the hippo ballerina is just adorable. Okay, I need a different block. It's because I saw this hippo on this card. We'll just blame it on that. Yeah, we'll do that. All right, so because I'm going to be using this on the Stampin' Cut Mini, I'm just going to trim this down a little just so it'll fit in the machine because it has a 3.5-inch platform, whereas the larger one is like 6 inches or something like that. Okay, let's try this again. Ballerina. There you go. Whoops. Let's wash this one up. Put it back. All righty, now we can color in. So I'm going to start this time with the Gray Granite Light because I want to color the body. Now with Stampin' Blends, I would normally recommend having something underneath your paper. I'm not too concerned at the moment, but you want to do smaller parts of your area using the blends. Because they're alcohol markers, they do dry very quickly. So you put the dark on first, or the light on first, and then you put the dark on, and then you use the light to smoosh it together. All righty. So then I'm going to take this. Oops. I'm using the dark. I'm not following my own instructions, am I? Oh well. And then do the face. It's nice, relaxing to do coloring. And you don't have to get quite inside the lines, because the markers will kind of, like, not the markers, but the alcohol ink will spread out a little bit. And I go between the paintbrush end and the fine tip end. All right. The petal pink was for the, is it a tutu? The ballerina part. So I'm going to use the light on the little ruffle and on the shoes and down here. Then I'm going to take the fine tip and I'm going to color in the bottom part underneath the ruffle and one shoe. And then I'm going to go across the top of the ruffle. Then I'm going to take my light. There we go. So let's see. Can you see that? So the edges of the ruffle are a little bit lighter, and then the top of the arms and the top of the head are a little darker. So that's what you want to do with the blends. You're mixing them together so that way you can have that gradient of color. So this is the Stampin' Cut mini machine. I have it written on the platform 3.5 inches, so I didn't forget. And then we're going to put our image down. And we're going to use the Stylish Shapes dies. Now, on my Instagram card over here, I used the square, but not this time, so I used the second largest square. So, excuse me. This time round, I'm going to use, if I can pick it up, the second largest circle. Now, I like to die or stamp then die cut, just so that I can get that die exactly where I want it. And we just roll that on through. Close up our machine. Make sure to put the die back. Nothing worse than losing a die. Although, I have to say, I've lost a block. I've lost this size of a block. It's not a small block. And I really don't know where it went. So I might have to tear my stamp room apart at some point, but it's not a huge deal. But it's sad when you lose something. So to put this card together, we're going to use some crumb cake cardstock on the Sweet Sorbet. I find this sorbet color is very bright, so this tones it down a little bit. And a reminder that the supply list is in the description. So if you are in Canada and wanted to purchase any of the products to make this project yourself, you'll find those links down below. So then we're going to put that kind of centered. And then we're going to turn this over so we get the back side, the second side. And put that kind of centered there. And then we have, oh yeah, I can't forget about the breeding. Got to do that next. So you can see here that the alcohol markers have bled through a little just on where I've colored. a good show. Whoops. That shows why it's a good idea to have something down on your table when you're coloring. Okay. So we'll put this on, and then we'll get the sentiment stamped. Come on. I love the mini dimensionals, but sometimes they can be hard to take the back off. All right. So now we're going to put this cute little ballerina right about here. And then we're going to do some stamping with Always on Point. That could be great for, say, a thank you card, or birthday maybe, or if you have a ballerina, that could work too. Now I think what I'm going to do is, like this card, I stamped it, then cut it into like a flag. So I think I'm going to do the same thing. I'm showing 2 different ways of how to put ink on a stamp today. Okay. Put that back. And then where'd my snips go? Here we go. So for these, for the flag, I should say, we're going to trim that off. Try to make both sides cut. That's not even. Like that. And then we cut in the center. Just to make this little flag part. It's kind of funky, but you know what? That's okay. So now we'll take these dimensionals and we can put our sentiment on the card to finish it off. Now, if you had some envelopes ready and wanted to stamp or even add some designer paper onto the envelopes, now would be a good time to do that. So we're going to do Always on Point there. And I meant to grab some embellishments. So let's see, what kind of embellishments do I have? I love getting extra stamp cases because then I can store my embellishments in them. So they go in my drawer of my office. All right, so I like those. We're going to do this here. We're going to do 2 of them. We're going to do a large one over here. Oops, come on, onto the card. Oops. There we go. And I think I'm just going to do 3. Yeah, I'm just going to do 3 of them. So there is one option is with a circle. And there, the second option, first option was a square. Second option was a circle. So using one 6x6 designer series piece of paper to create 2 cards. And if you've enjoyed this tutorial, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I have videos up on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And reminder, if you'd like to receive a monthly exclusive tutorial, written tutorial, make sure to go to subscribe.fromwhereistamp.ca. We'll see you next time.